Hey, what's going on, guys? So this lure review is going to be on the Lucky Craft Flash Minnow. Got a couple different sizes, and it's a little bit different than the Lucky Craft Pointer. I'm going to go over some of those differences right now. All right, guys. So the Lucky Craft Flash Minnow. It comes in a couple different sizes and a couple different varieties. The smallest size being the 95. The 95 has a length of 3 3/4 inches, a weight of 3/8 of an ounce, and it is a suspending lure that dives to 1 to 2 feet. But they all dive to 1 to 2 feet, and they're all suspending. So the next size up is the 110, which is what this one is here. The 110 has a length of 4 1/2 inches, a weight of 5/8 of an ounce, and again suspending 1 to 2 feet. The next one is the 130. It has a length of 5 1/4 inches, a weight of 3/4 of an ounce, and the same suspending 1 to 2 foot. And then you also have what's called a live flash minnow, and the live flash minnow just has segments in the tail that makes it articulate, so it'll make it kind of go from side to side, kind of like a swim bait. And that one has a length of 4 3/4 inches, has a weight of 11/16 ounce, and again suspending 1 to 2 foot. So several different sizes to meet your needs here. I went with the 110 just because it's a good size for me. They didn't have a 100 size. The 95 seemed like it was a little bit small because the profile of it is a little bit thinner than a pointer. If you look at this pointer 100, you can see that the pointer 100 is a much thicker, more shad style profile of a bait. And if you look at the bills of these two baits, you'll notice that the pointer 100 has a much larger bill as well. On top of the fact that the pointer 100 actually dives, 4 to 6 feet or whatever it is, so it actually dives deeper. The pointer 100 has a much different action. As good of an action as the flash minnow has, it's for a different purpose, in my opinion. You're going to be fishing this bait up shallow. Possibly when the fish are up there spawning. I think it has a much more subtle compared to the pointer. The flash minnow has a more subtle action to it. But the one thing that I like about the flash minnow and the pointer that they both have is they both have a really good rolling action this way. So you can see that flashing of the color on the top and the sides. So when this thing comes rolling through the water, it's got a good wobble this way. But one thing that I liked about the two Lucky Crafts that I'm talking about, being the pointer and the flash minnow, is that when they come to rest, when you stop them, they'll sit there for like a half a second, and they'll sit there and just kind of wobble for a second. And subtle little intricacies like that in a ripbait will help you catch fish when others won't. So paying attention to things like that when you're buying baits, sometimes those will help you catch that extra fish that's a little bit more finicky. But be that as it is, it does have a little bit more of a subtle of an action in the water. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my measurement here. Should be around 4 1/2 inches. We got that ring in the front with the ring in the front and the ring in the back. It is about 4 3/4 inches, just short of 4 3/4 inches, and then without the rings, it is 4 1/2 inches, just like they're saying, and the bill is right up to it. The bill, one of the things that I noticed about the bill, you'll notice that the bill almost comes off from underneath. Now this doesn't really, it definitely does play into how the bait works in the water, but this is just to point out something about the bait. If you look at the pointer here, the bill kind of jets off right off the front of the face or the tip of the bait, and this one kind of comes down underneath the bait a little bit, kind of like a Smithwick Rogue or a Spromic stick would, where the bill kind of comes off from the bottom, and that's just going to give it a little bit of a different action. So just kind of wanted to point that out to you. You can see that this says Flash Minnow SP on it, SP for suspending, and this bait actually has a really good suspend to it. Most of the Lucky Crafts that I have, they seem to have a really good suspend. When they say they suspend, they really do suspend in the water. So that's something that I have grown to enjoy about Lucky Crafts. When they say something, they mean it. It's not something that they're just putting on the box. You'll notice that it's got the same kind of details as that you've come to expect from other Lucky Craft baits. You've got the scales on it, the gill plates, three-dimensional holographic eyes. This one in the chartreuse shad has a yellow sclera, and this one in the MS American shad has a silver sclera. So you got gold and silver eyes. And you also got a smaller style oval split ring, which is just a nice touch. It makes it easier for tying. You're not going to tie on that break in the split ring and possibly fray your line. This one's got 3 treble hooks on it, and you'll notice that the pointer 100, actually all the pointers except for the pointer 127. Is it the pointer 127? Let me just double check here. It's the pointer 128. The pointer 128 is of all the pointers that they have, the 65, the 78, the 100, and the 128. The 128 is the only one that has 3 treble hooks on it, and I think all of the Flash Minnows have 3 treble hooks on them. Maybe just, yeah. All of the Flash Minnows except for the smallest one in the 95 have treble hooks on, have 3 treble hooks on them. So anyway, let's go over the colors here. Just your standard colors that, or for me, that I really like. They kind of work everywhere. Just good overall colors. So you got chartreuse shad, which is kind of like a sexy shad variation. It has a little bit of transparency to it. You can kind of see the main weight here. This bait also does have a weight transfer system in it. I don't feel like it makes it cast that much greater than one that would have it without it, because it's just one little single ball moving from here back to here. You can't really see it, but you can hear it. But it does have it, so I guess that's it helps a little bit. Let's put it that way. But I felt like it's not like the Lucky Craft Pointer 100 where it's got the 2 moving balls to the back, and it really does seem to help get that thing and rocket it out there a good distance. So, but anyway, chartreuse shad, kind of that sexy shad variation. You've got your lateral chartreuse line, that light blue scale pattern on the top, and just an overall kind of a pearl white belly to it, and it also has that ear on it as well. So there's chartreuse shad. This bait also does have rattles. Go ahead and show you. And you can actually hear these rattles in the water. They're fairly loud. So when you're going through the water and you want something to draw the attention of a fish, even though the action is a little bit more subtle. And when I say it's subtle, you're not going to be disappointed by the action. I'm just saying that it's more subtle than a pointer. The pointer has a really erratic, large sachet from side to side, where this one is just a little bit more subtle than that one. I kind of compare everything to the pointer 100 because the pointer 100 to me is just kind of that go-to rip bait for me. So, and when I say that it has a subtler action, that's what I'm talking about. Here's your MS American shad. I think most people have really grown to enjoy this color. It's got the scales that are actually I guess they're glued on over the top of the bait. So, and they have little holograms on them as well. So it has that really good color changing effect, and it looks amazing inside the water. But it's got a dark, kind of a dark teal, dark blue on the top, and again, it's kind of got a lateral. In this case, it would be a gold line going down the middle of it, and this one's just kind of an overall silver bait. But this is an opaque bait, where this one's semi-transparent. So this one is MS American shad. MS for the scales that it has. Whenever you see that MS in front of a Lucky Craft bait, it means that it's got these scales. Like you got MS Crack, and there's several others. So anyway, there's MS American shad. All right, guys. So there it is, the Flash Minnow. You're really gonna like this bait for shallow running jerk baits. You could also use it, which is something that I'm probably gonna use it for as well. Is if, let's say you're in 6 or 7 feet of water, but you want to get right over the tops of some of the weeds that are out there. This is going to be a good jerkbait to fit that bill, just because of the fact that it's not going to dive very, very deep. And the bait has a lot of heft to it too, which was something that I really liked about it, because even though the weight transfer system I felt didn't help a ton, I do feel like the overall heft of the bait seems to help get the bait out there a decent distance out there. So 5/8 of an ounce is pretty good. So Flash Minnow 110 SP, that's what this one is. Check it out if you guys get the opportunity. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, please. I really appreciate that. And got a couple more reviews, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot.